Alright guys, so we're back with another video. So in this video, we're going to go ahead and set up the Discord bot now. So just to make things quick, I'm going to use this tool, Slappy, that I created sometime last year. And we're just going to generate all of the project files just to make things a lot easier. I have done some videos using this before, and I have done a video talking about Slappy. If you guys are interested, you can go ahead to the github.com/stuyy/slappy, and you can visit the repository. You can take a look at it. If you don't want to use it, that's completely fine. You can just set up the project yourself, but I think it'd just be easier. And like I said, I'll have the code in the description so you guys can easily, just clone the code and just play around with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Slappy, and we'll just create a new project. So this is running on version, I think it's version 4.0. Yeah, so this should work with Discord.js version 13. So we'll call this premium commands bots. Okay, so we'll use TypeScript, yarn, the token. Let me go ahead and grab that real quick. I also have a Discord server, and I already added the bot already. And I'm assuming that most of you guys already know how to do that. So I'm not really going to cover that because it's pretty, I think that's something that people should already know already. Anyways, so if you don't know how to do that, there's plenty of beginner tutorials that will show you how to do that, but it's very simple. If you need help, like I said, just leave a comment down below or join my Discord server. So yeah, so what we need to do is we need to get my bot token real quick, paste that in there. We'll do exclamation mark for the prefix. So let's let the bot generate its files, and we should be able to just run this bot immediately. So yeah, so premium commands bots, yarn start dev should work. Oh wait, I think is it yarn start? Wait, do I have the wrong command? Let me double check. Let's see. Oh, it's yarn dev. Okay. Sorry, I'm used to using start dev recently, so that's why I got confused. Okay, so our bot should just work literally as we go, so we don't have to worry about anything else. So the command test should work. Perfect. Okay, so now all we got to do is we just got to integrate TypeORM with our Discord bot project, and then that's pretty much it. That's literally all we got to do. We got to query the database. Okay. And then we have to pretty much every single time the user uses a certain command that is a premium command, we need to check to see if they have made the purchase or not, made the purchase for the premium commands. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do this. And also, just to show you guys how awesome Lerna is as well, let me go ahead and close this repository. And since, let me do this. I'm going to go ahead and change the start script to NodeMon. I'm going to get rid of this. We'll call this start prod instead. So now Lerna will actually also have to add that premium commands bot as well. So let's do that premium commands bot, and watch this. So if I go ahead and run Lerna, or let's see, it's Lerna server in parallel. So that'll run all three projects all at once, which is great. That's exactly what I wanted. So you can see that our bot is running, everything is running, and that's exactly what I want. Let's go back here to make sure the bot is working good. Perfect. The bot is still on. Awesome. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and inside the premium commands bot folder in the terminal, we want to install the dependencies. So we'll install TypeORM. And I think we'll also need to install MySQL 2 and reflect metadata. Okay. So let's install those three. We don't need to install any type files for any of those, I think. Okay, awesome. And we're literally just going to go ahead and install .env as well, so we can set up environment variables. And for the environment variable, we're going to go ahead and just copy the same ones that we use for the API, for the backend API, or just for the MySQL connection, okay? So we'll just copy that over here. Go and do that. And let me just bring that inside the .env file inside the premium commands bot project. Okay, inside the index.ts file for our bot project, we're gonna use require.env, and I'm gonna call the config function, so that will load up all the environment variables, and make sure the environment variable is inside the directory that you're running the script. I have mine inside the root directory, and that's where the script is running from. So actually, I wonder if that'll actually work because I'm using Lerna. Well, actually, I think it should work. We'll double check. We'll double check. So let's go ahead and do this. Console log process.env MySQL db host. Let's just make sure that the environment variable is going to work. Okay, good. It works. Okay, so that's great. So yeah, I have mine in the root directory. So if you were to run the script, you want to make sure you run the script from the root directory and not inside like source or somewhere else. Because if you do that, the environment variable actually won't even load. So you have to be very careful. Okay. Okay. So we have our environment variables. Now all we got to do is we got to connect to the database. Now it's going to be done a little bit differently because it's going to be done a little bit differently because we're not using Nest.js, so we're not going to have any dependency injection by default. We're going to have to pretty much do it ourselves. So what I'm going to do is first let me move this up here because I want to tidy this up a little bit. I don't really like how that looks. Okay. All right, cool. I think I may have just made that a little bit more complicated, but that's fine. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and import the create connection. Okay, so the first thing that I think we'll do is we'll connect to the database and then log the bot in. So we're going to go ahead and do create connection. Oh, whoops. Let's just make sure that create connection is imported from TypeORM. Okay, there's a couple of functions from different libraries. Make sure it's imported from TypeORM. Okay, and we literally are going to copy and paste the same stuff that we had from our TypeORM config over here. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to literally just paste that literally right over here. And I'm going to get rid of the session entity because we don't have session entity. For the bot, we're only going to have the user entity, which I'm going to copy and paste as well. I'm not going to rewrite all that because, it's just a waste of time. And we already have this already, so might as well, right? Okay, so we're going to create a folder. I'm going to go inside utils and I'll create a TypeORM folder. Actually, no, I'll just create a TypeORM folder. We'll create a folder called entities. And then we'll create the user.ts one. And we will do that. So right now, it's actually going to give us a bunch of issues because we don't have experimental decorators. So we do have to go inside the tsconfig.json file, and you have to go inside, let's see, right over here, and enable experimental decorators, as well as emit decorator metadata. So make sure you do that. Just get rid of the comment and get rid of that comment, and that should be good. We are also going to get these errors where it's saying like these properties have no initializer. It is quite annoying, so I'm actually just going to disable that because yeah, it's quite annoying, but let me go ahead and disable that real quick. It should be, let's see, yeah, this over here, we'll set this to false. I don't know why it's still showing up. It's still not updating, but let's see, cannot find name user, so let's import user real quick. So that should be imported from here. So keep in mind, I should probably also change the, I think maybe I'll change the class name. Let me call this Discord user because there's actually two types of users, or not two types of users. There's the Discord user class, that's from the Discord.js library, and there's the actual user entity for our application. So I'll actually just do that just to prevent, any additional problems. Okay, so let's go ahead and import Discord user. So that should fix this error. Okay, good. I don't know why these issues are still happening because I already enabled the experimental decorator. So I think it will take some time to, reflect. Let me see what's going on over here. Did I what's going on? Oh, I added this by accident as well. Okay, so it might just take some time to update. Okay, good. The bot is relogging in, so that's good. Good. Okay. So just ignore this for now. It'll go away eventually. So we have the So we're definitely able to make a connection to the database. Now keep in mind that the Discord bot should not make any changes to the data because we want to be consistent with our data. So what you could do is you could actually create a new user on your MySQL database, and you can allow that user to, you can make that user only have read permissions, and you can use that user to connect to the database with the bot process, because really we want the main data to be altered from the actual API itself and React. We don't want to modify the data from our Discord bot. I mean, you could, but you just have to be very careful with not like overlapping anything or making sure nothing bad goes wrong. Okay, but for now we don't have to worry about that. Okay, cool. So we have our database connection, and we can also add a log too. Let's do connected to database, and let me also wrap everything inside a try catch, because an error might happen and we should definitely catch those errors. Okay, connected to the database, bot has logged in. Perfect. So we're connecting to the database first, and then we're logging the bot in. Okay, so what do we do next? So the next thing that we have to do is we actually have to basically we just have to set up our commands in a way where we check to see if the user has made a purchase, and if they did, we can easily just allow them to use that command. If they didn't, then we just won't let them use that command. So for example, I have a test command. Let me create a couple other commands. So let me go inside my terminal, inside the premium commands bots project, and I'll use the slappy command, and I'll use the arrow keys and select generate, and I'll generate a command, and I'll just call this. Let's see, what are some premium commands that we can call? Let's just say roll dice, and let's just call this misc command. Okay, so we have a roll dice command. Okay, cool. So let's test it out, make sure that it works. Roll dice. Right now it works. Cool. But right now it works for anyone, right? So if I use it on my other account, it's gonna work. Now let's protect that. So let's go ahead, and what we got to do is we need to basically search the database every single time. Now you can obviously do additional stuff such as caching, so you don't have to make a bunch of database calls, because essentially you really just need this data once. The data is not really going to change unless a refund occurs, okay? But you can always update that data accordingly whenever, like, an event like a refund occurs. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get the repository for our user record, okay? So I think what I'll do is inside this constructor I'll do private user repo. And we're not going to use dependency injection for this because we don't have it set up just yet, and it'll take a lot longer. So for now, we'll just use this. So private user repo. So it'll just basically be equal to get repository. We'll pass in Discord user entity. Okay, and let's just make sure that there's no error. I think yeah. So it threw an error because what's happening is it's actually trying to get the repository. It's actually trying to get the repository before the connection has been established. So I actually ran into this issue on one of my tutorials for the OAuth 2 from scratch. So I think the best thing that we could do is we can actually move. So I think we could do this. Let's log into the database first, then register the commands, and then register the functions, and that should definitely fix that issue. I think. Yeah, I think that definitely fixed it. So connect the database. It's going to take some time to log into Discord bot. Let's try again. So this should fix it. Okay, great. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, we log into the database first before doing anything else, before importing any modules. Because really what's happening is we're importing all of those modules, and it's basically executing that code, which I know it's kind of annoying, but easy fix is just to connect to the database first. Okay. So now what we can do is every single time the user sends a message, right, we can basically fetch the database. So what I can do is I can say, hey, look, const find user equals await this.user repo find one, and we want to find it by Discord ID. So we'll pass in the message.author.id. Okay, and so if there's no user, we'll just return a message saying that let's send. You cannot use that command. Okay, and this is kind of annoying. So let me just change to promise any for now. Okay, so yeah, if the user is not found in the database, that means one thing, right? That means they have not authenticated themselves yet. Now that does not mean that they did not pay, right? But they need to make sure they authenticate, because in order for them to make a payment, they need to obviously be authorized in the database. So if they're not in the database, then that you know for a fact that they have not even paid at all. So that's actually a good thing that we can note, is that if the user is not in the database, that means they haven't even signed up or logged in or even authorized to your application. So you can just say you cannot use that command. Let's say if they are in the database. So if they are, we can check to see if premium is true. If it's true, we can execute the command. Instead, you know what I'll do is I'll actually negate this and I'll say, I'll do this. Actually, you know what? Let me do this. If find user or, let's see. So if find user is false, I wonder if this will throw an error if I just don't want it to error out. So if there's no user or, I guess I could just do this. Find user dot premium, or the status is false. You cannot use the command. Okay. So let's see real quick. Otherwise, we can let them use the command. So message the channel send roll dice premium command. So let's see how that works. So right now we are in the database and our status is true. What's going on over here? Did I make a mistake? Oh, whoops. That should fix it. All right, so let's go ahead and let's first go into our database real quick. Let's make sure that our stuff is good. So we are in the database and our status is true. So if I use this command on my account, it should work. Perfect. Now if I use this command on my other account, it should say you cannot use the command. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Now, let's go ahead and test one more thing. What if the user is found but status is false? So what I'll do is I'll just simply update users set premium equals 0. Okay, so that basically means that I did not pay. Okay, so over here, if I use roll dice, you cannot use the command. So that is how we can protect our commands. So yeah, pretty much every single time the user uses a command, you can search the database for the user, and you can see that if they can use that command or not. Okay, that's pretty simple. Let me go back and just update my database again. And if I do that, I should be able to use the roll dice command, just like that. Okay, now if you wanted to speed this up a little bit, or if you wanted to avoid making so many database calls, like I said, you can actually add the user to the cache. If there's no such thing as like a refund policy for your product, then you don't have to worry about, you know, the user status going from true to false, because if you don't offer refunds, then you have to worry about that. So you can always just cache the user in memory, and you can reference the user, right? You can basically store you can basically store the user in a map, and you can check to see if that user is in that cache. If the user is not in the cache, you can fetch the database, because like I said, there might be instances where the user has paid, but they're not in the cache, so you can just always add the cache as the user uses the commands. Okay. So that is literally how you implement premium commands. It's really easy. The only difficult part is really just setting up the payments, but you know, when it comes to Discord bot, it's very simple. You literally just search the database, you check a certain property. If that property is true, then they can use that command. If that property is false, they cannot use that command. It's very, very simple. It's literally the same way how you would protect commands for, like, you know, admins, or, you know, commands ran in certain channels. You can add literally any logic. It's very simple. Okay, so that is going to conclude the majority of this tutorial. Any additional videos that I make that are continue with the series are going to be optional. You guys don't really need it. I just wanted to get you guys started with the basics. Okay, if you guys want to modify whatever it is that you need to modify, you can. Like I said, all the code will be in the description. I'm going to go ahead and leave documentation. I'm going to leave a readme for every single repository, so you guys know how to actually set everything up. If you guys have any issues with the code or with the video, definitely reach out on the Discord server. Leave a comment down below. But the best way to get help with these videos is to join the Discord server. The link is in the description. And you guys can ask questions on the Discord server and get help from the community. So that is going to be pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had lots of fun making this mini series. I think what I'll do in the next couple of videos is I'll probably focus on styling up the dashboard. And I'll probably maybe add some additional features where you can process refunds and you can, purchase different products and stuff, and maybe even do subscriptions too. Who knows? Anyways, I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out.